Welcome to Python Comments, a beginner's guide. In this video, you'll learn what comments are, how to write them, and when to actually use them. Whether you're just starting out or looking to write cleaner code, this tutorial will help you master one of the simplest yet most important skills in Python programming. So, what exactly is a comment? A comment is a line in your code that Python completely ignores when running the program. It exists purely for humans, not for the computer. Think of it like writing a sticky note on your textbook. The note doesn't change the book itself, but it helps you remember what something means. Watch the visualization on screen. The print statement gets executed, but the comment line is completely ignored by Python. That's the entire purpose of a comment. Let's write your very first comment. To create a comment in Python, you simply start a line with the hash symbol, $sign. Everything after that hash on the same line is ignored by Python. Look at the code on the left. On the first line, we have a full-line comment that says, "This is a comment." Python skips right over it. Then on the second line, we have a print statement, and that's what actually runs. Notice the output on the right only shows hello, because the comment was never executed. You can also place a comment at the end of a line of code. This is called an inline comment. It's useful for adding a quick note right next to the code it explains. See how the hash symbol marks everything after it as a comment, even when it shares a line with actual code. Now, you might be wondering, why should I bother writing comments at all? There are three main reasons. First, comments make your code easier to understand. When someone else reads your code, or when you come back to it after a few weeks, comments explain what's going on without having to decode every single line. Second, comments are incredibly helpful while debugging. When something breaks, you can temporarily turn off a line of code by commenting it out instead of deleting it. This way, you can test without losing your work. Third, comments serve as a built-in to-do list. Developers regularly leave notes in their code for things they plan to fix or improve later, like adding input validation or optimizing a slow function. Python supports several types of comments, and each one has its own use case. The most common is the single-line comment. You just put a hash at the start of the line, and that's it. It's perfect for general notes and explanations. Then there's the inline comment, which sits after a line of code on the same line. Keep these short and only use them when they genuinely add clarity. For longer explanations, you have two options for multi-line comments. The recommended approach is to use multiple hash lines, one after another. This is clean, widely accepted, and any Python developer will recognize it immediately. The alternative is using triple quoted strings. This works, but technically it's a string, not a true comment. So the hash method is preferred for general comments. Now let's talk about something special, docstrings. Docstrings are a type of comment written specifically to document functions, classes, and modules. They use triple quotes and sit right inside the function, just below its definition. Look at the multiply function on the left. The docstring explains what the function does, what arguments it takes, and what it returns. What makes docstrings really powerful is that Python actually stores them. You can access them at any time using the built-in help function. Watch what happens when we call help on multiply. The output on the right shows the full docstring, including the description and argument details. This is extremely useful when building larger projects or libraries that other people will use. Let's put everything together with a practical example. Here's a small script that adds numbers from 1 to 10, with comments walking through each step. Watch as we go through it line by line. First, we initialize a variable called total to 0. The comment explains why we're doing this. Next, we start a for loop that goes through numbers 1 to 10. The comment tells us exactly what this loop does. Inside the loop, we add each number to our running total, and the inline comment explains that operation. Finally, we print the result, and the comment tells us we're displaying the final answer. Even without knowing Python deeply, those comments make it easy to follow what the script does step by step. One of the most common uses of comments is commenting out code. This means temporarily disabling lines of code without deleting them. It's incredibly useful when you're debugging or testing different approaches. Look at the code on the left. The first line is commented out, so Python ignores it completely. The second line is active and runs normally. And here's a pro tip. In most code editors like VS Code, you can highlight multiple lines and press Ctrl+/ on Windows or Command+/ on Mac to toggle comments on and off instantly. This is a huge time saver when you're working on something and need to quickly disable or re-enable blocks of code. Following a few simple rules will keep your comments useful rather than noisy. First, and most important, write comments that explain why something is done, not just what it does. The code itself shows what happens. Your comment should explain the reasoning behind it. Look at the comparison on screen. Saying, add 1 to I is obvious from the code itself, but saying, manually increment to skip the already processed item explains the reason, which is what actually helps the reader. Second, keep comments short and to the point. A comment that takes longer to read than the code itself isn't helping anyone. Third, always update your comments when you update the code. Outdated comments are worse than no comments at all because they actively mislead readers. And fourth, don't over-comment obvious things. If the code is self-explanatory, you don't need a comment for it. Here's a quick reference table summarizing all the comment types we've covered. Single-line comments use the hash symbol and are your go-to for general notes and explanations. Inline comments go after a line of code and are best for short clarifications. Multi-line comments use multiple hash lines for longer explanations. And docstrings use triple quotes inside functions and classes to document them formally. Keep this reference in mind as you write your own Python code. Choose the right comment type for each situation, and your code will be much easier to read and maintain. And there you have it. Everything you need to know about Python comments. Use them with purpose. Explain why things are done, not just what, and your code will become much easier to revisit, share, and build on. It's a small habit with a big payoff. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more Python tutorials. Happy coding!